From my last Descent comms video, we'll be looking at comms from number 62 up to 68. Like always, I will be referencing intel that I've discussed in previous videos, so if you haven't seen them yet, I have a playlist set up and you can find this in the description.
Call me Cal. Time to come out of hibernation, Agent. There's work to do. Drop whatever you're doing right now. Just walk out. I need you to gather a team. Take whoever you think you'll need and go to immediately. Infiltrate the town and set up a forward operating base. You'll receive further instructions once you get to...
Kelvin McManus activates a hunter. This is what the statement under the name of these comms says. Drop whatever you're doing now, just walk out. This reminds us that hunters aren't just sitting around in a bunker somewhere, working out or playing video games, waiting to be sent after a target. They're out in the field, blending in with division agents, or rogues. In this comms piece, Kelvin is activating a hunter, or perhaps a new recruiter. He is getting them to assemble a team and set up a base in Silver Creek.
What do you mean the agents are unwilling? You tell this noble squad they don't need to stay in New York to honor their fallen soldiers. Remember, you cannot tell anyone these orders come from me. We need to keep this one close to the vest. You're the only person on the planet who knows about my involvement in this mission. I'm not ready to let this particular cat out of the bag.
Kelvin receives an update from the hunter he has sent to Silver Creek. At this point, it seems that they've been held up in New York. The agents this hunter seems to be trying to bring on board are Noble Squad. I've talked about Noble Squad in a previous video. I'll have a link up the top, but summing up, they were first wave agents, where all but one of them were killed by Rikers. Doug, the only one to survive, hunted down the Rikers, and while doing so, also managed to rescue April Kelleher, who'd been captured by the same group of Rikers. Now, I can't imagine a hunter in full kit just walking up to a bunch of agents, so the hunter must be just walking around in typical agent attire. Given what Kelvin is saying about keeping secret the person who initiated this operation, it would seem the hunters are completely autonomous too, which makes sense. They're basically just top-tier agents. I don't know why, but for some reason I always thought that they'd regularly hang out together as a group. No idea why.
I can see you're making progress and finally on the move. Oh, that was a nice speech, by the way. Pushing the potential threats to the core and the rogue cherry on top? That was a thing of beauty. I'm not gonna mince words, soldier. The program hinges on this.
The hunter is making progress and is finally on the move to Silver Creek. Kelvin compliments their speech, but reminds that the hunter program hinges on the success of this mission. From the main mission comms, we can already tell why Kelvin is pushing forward with this mission with such haste. Silver Creek has the USB with the roster of all division agents that have been recruited since before the outbreak.
You've arrived in... That's good. I need your team to secure the base at the... and set up shop. As soon as you can, you get to the basement and locate the hunter bunker. From there, you can access my database and secure the roster. For your sake, this better work.
Work is a relative term, but you'll live.
I don't like being your guinea pig, Kane.
We don't have any other options. I'm sorry, but this mutation of the virus, it's not responding to the antivirals. I wish I had more time to perfect a broad spectrum, but I'm sorry, we're out of time.
I don't think you're sorry. I think you're glad we're infected.
Donovan.
Another opportunity for you to test your research. It's fine, Liam. I get it. We're out of time. There's no other way. But I'm warning you, if I lose even one of my people from your experiment, your death will not be quick.
Donovan, this will keep us alive. It will keep the virus in check. But I need live variola chimera samples to continue the work, to actually make a cure.
If I live, I'll get you those samples. You just get those auto-injectors ready. We'll be your little pigs. But if you fuck this up, you will unleash the wolf.
Donovan Tower isn't someone we've heard of before. However, we do know a little bit of the story that was meant to play out in Heartland, and there was a character in there called Killian Tower. Perhaps Donovan is his brother, or is related in some way. All of these comms have been related to Silver Creek. I'm going to assume that this story arc is following this path too. Killian Tower was a division commander. For reasons unknown, he disavowed the division and went rogue. He killed most of his men before then fleeing to Silver Creek. Mackenzie, once a part of his team, has been pursuing him. One of the main points of Heartland was around how the virus had mutated and was working in a much different way, and this is what this set of comms seem to be talking about here. In the main story, Hoskins has already come through this area and retrieved the USB containing the roster, and she noted that the agents that died there didn't die from the virus, even though they were all infected. So these comms obviously happened prior to Hoskins visiting the town. I'm not sure who Liam Kane is, but he probably would have been more significant if Heartland had been released. It's hard to tell if Donovan is an agent of some kind, but he certainly seems to be in a place of authority, and he's concerned about the future of his infected men.
How close are you to finishing your broad-spectrum antiviral?
Mr. Tower, I'm sure you're well aware that project is a matter of national security and you do not have the proper clearance.
Highly classified, I understand. But I don't have time to deal with red tape bullshit. We got our own antiviral in development, but that shit is going to kill us sooner or later.
Oh, well, if you have anything at all, you're in a better position than 90% of the country.
Fuck that. We need live virus samples of the unmutated green poison, and we need them yesterday. Without them, the geniuses here can't do the tests they need.
Oh, I am so sorry we can't help you. Our work here is our only priority. Oh, I do recommend you reach out to DCD headquarters.
You know what? Fuck you and fuck your lab.
Donovan frantically searches for what Liam needs to work on the antiviral in Silver Creek. Unfortunately, he's hit a dead end with the labs in Ann Arbor. Kavita Chandrasekhar is the head researcher at the University of Michigan's laboratories in Ann Arbor. Featured in the Broken Dawn novel, Kavita worked remotely alongside Bill Kelleher, April Kelleher's husband. They were developing a broad-spectrum antiviral that will be able to stop multiple mutations of a particular virus. Months after the outbreak, April Kelleher would arrive at Ann Arbor and meet with Kavita, and it wouldn't be long after that the Black Tusk would launch a strike on the university. Kavita's current situation is unknown and is presumed dead.
Everyone is giving me the fucking finger now, Mackenzie. How do you think I fucking feel?
Calm down, Donovan.
You know Wendy Wright is dead, right? I had to step up, take charge. And now my people are barely hanging on. DCD are useless, and Arbor is fucking incompetent, and you're telling me to calm down?
I didn't know. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Listen to me, Agent. If we can't get what we need, I'm not sure what will happen. Steps will need to be taken.
Steps? What do you mean by steps?
Tell me, how close is MIT to manufacturing a proper BSAV?
Not close enough.
Are you giving me the finger too, Reed?
I'm telling you I'm sorry. I wish we could help, but we're not ready.
As I mentioned before, Mackenzie Reed was the protagonist to be featured in Heartland. It's interesting that Reed and Donovan know each other. Maybe it's just a coincidence that Donovan and the antagonist have the same last name, but I doubt that. Reed and Donovan seem to get along at this stage, and it doesn't seem like Killian has gone rogue yet. Perhaps it's their family ties, and Killian knows what Donovan is up to, or potentially more, and he was sent there to interrupt what they're working on. Regardless, MIT isn't able to help Donovan either. They're on their own, and will eventually succumb to the virus. But as we know from the main story, they would be killed before this could happen. So what is so important about this roster? Sure, it has every name of the division agents that have been recruited before the outbreak, but why is this so important at this stage? And why does Calvin say that the Hunter program's future rests on recovering this? Is there information on who has been recruited into the program, or is there something much bigger that this roster is hiding? I'll wait for a few more comms to drop before I talk about the next lot. I'm about 4 pieces behind at this stage. But for now, I need to figure out how I'm going to capture the story in the new way that the seasons play out. There is certainly a lot more to do, but I'm feeling the story's a little less engaging and more hidden in the background so far. But hey, we're only 2 weeks in, so who knows how the rest of the season will play out. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Extremis Malus, Extrema Remedia.